A very, very good morning to you, Abuja, and welcome to Midday with MENA. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Citizen FM 93.7, and I am your host, MENA. Today, we will continue the review of the bills recently signed in by President Muhammadu Buhari. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, has assented to 19 bills in furtherance of Section 58, subsection 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. 16 of these bills are constitutional alterations of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The President signed into law 16 constitution amendment bills out of the 35 bills transmitted to him by the 9th National Assembly. In the studio, I have with me Joseph Okolojo West, who is our legal expert who always comes in to give us his legal opinion on these issues. Good morning, Joseph. Joe West, it's good to have you here.
Good morning,
I always
Mina.
like calling you Joe West. I'm sure people will wonder if you are really my legal practitioner, but you know, that's who you are to us on Midday with MENA and on Citizen FM 93.7. Thank you for always being here with us and coming to give you your coming to give us your expert opinion on these kind of issues. So the President signed into law 16 constitution amendment bills out of the 35 bills that were transmitted to him by the National Assembly. So a total of 44 bills were actually transmitted to the state houses of assembly before 35 came back. According to the 1999 Constitution, 2/3 of all state assembly, that's 24 states, are required for each amendment to be approved. First of all, I want you to give us a rundown on how these things work, how the bills are raised, how they are passed before it gets to the president, and everything that happens in between.
Okay. Laws are created by people sponsoring bills, and those bills come sort of as an application to the National Assembly. And when they come
Who are
up,
the people that sponsor bills?
It can come from the senators.
Okay.
It can come from the people.
Okay.
The people can come, and even sometimes it has to go as far as agitating for that bill to be listened to. Yes. So once the bill has come before the houses, they begin to read. It goes through about 4 readings before it's being voted on. Once it's voted on, and the majority, 2/3 of the houses, of both houses, have agreed to it, it goes up to the presidency for assent.
Okay, so these bills are voted on in the Senate and also the House of Representatives.
Yes.
All right. So you said afterwards, after 2/3 vote on it?
Yes, after 2/3 majority have agreed on it, it is forwarded to the presidency for the president's assent.
Well, how about the state houses?
The state houses.
When does it reach the hands of the state houses?
That's the state legislature.
Yes.
The laws come from the state legislature if it's under the concurrent or residual list.
Good. We're also going to get to that. Okay.
Yes, if it's under these types of legislature.
Okay.
So if it comes from them, they handle it at their own stage, especially if it's under concurrent, where the federal has to also give its own approval.
Yeah.
So when they are done with it, when they have majority, they now send it up to the federal legislature.
Okay.
And another vote to be taken there.
Okay. So yes, please tell us the difference between when something is moved from the concurrent to the exclusive, or from the exclusive to the concurrent list.
Okay.
How does that work?
The exclusive list is laws that are only handled by the federal government.
Okay.
The concurrent is both the federal government and the state government.
Okay.
And the residual is the state government.
Beautiful. Thank you for that clarification there. All right, let's begin. Last week we did do a rundown on some of these bills that were assented by President Muhammadu Buhari. I had here Barrister Juliet, who contested for House of Representative position in Abuja, actually, and she gave us some insightful views to this bill. But let's do a a rundown of some of them again. So the bill to provide for financial independence of state houses of assembly and state judiciary. Yeah. Can you give us a rundown on that?
Yes. This is a bill that is in furtherance and in advancement of what we call restructuring. It's a bill that will further increase true federalism in the country. Okay, now talking about the bill itself, financial autonomy to the state house and the judiciary.
Yeah.
It means that the judiciary can sponsor itself. It's no longer depending on the state government, the executive government, to get its funding. So it can fund itself, same as the state legislature. So this will further enhance their independence. They are no longer influenced by the executive, the state executive. So it's a very positive one, it's a good one, and it goes in a long way to encourage restructuring.
Okay, great. Well, how about the bill to regulate the first session and inauguration of members elect of the national and state houses of assembly? What does that mean in essence?
Okay, it's basically a bill to expand the mode of this inauguration process.
Okay.
It's meant to innovate, bring more innovation into the process of these inaugurations.
Of what
basically.
inauguration? Inauguration into the houses of assembly.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
And the process in which they are inaugurated.
Okay, all right,
Yes.
okay. But what would you say is the necessity of that bill? What necessitated that bill?
As I said before, it's different people that apply for this bill, so the interest can
Yes.
only be seen in those people.
Okay.
Sometimes the interest is not national.
Okay. How about the bill to delete the reference to the provisions of the Criminal Code, Penal Code, Criminal Procedure Act, Criminal Procedure Code, or Evidence Act?
These laws are being reviewed. There are new ones. We have the AGJA now, that's the Administration of Criminal Justice. It's more, it's newer than these penal codes and criminal procedures.
Okay.
So this is a bid and an effort to leave those ones behind.
Okay,
and move on.
eliminate them.
Yes,
So
and
this
move on
new
with the
one
new
that
ones.
you talked about, please, can you repeat it?
Administration of Criminal Justice.
Okay, so
It's an
what does
act,
that?
it's a
What's
federal
the
act.
essence of that federal act?
Okay, it has been passed since, if I'm not mistaken, since 2015 or before
Okay,
then,
okay.
and it's a new law that is a new act that helps criminal proceedings in the country, and a lot of states have adopted it.
How criminal proceedings in what way?
For instance, it came with like speed up criminal proceedings.
Okay.
It gives ways that evidence is presented, and it also limits sort of, basically it's a newer criminal law.
Yeah.
And it was created with the intention of making the process more innovative, more efficient. Thank you. More efficient. So basically that's it. And
Okay. And this bill is seeking to eliminate the old ones.
Yes, because while this one was running, while the new one was running, the other old ones were running as well.
Why would that happen, and what are the consequences of such?
Why that happened is because they didn't, while they were making the new ones, they did not delete the old ones. And the effect of that is that while although the newer law in time is which is the one you follow, but where the newer one is silent and doesn't say some things you refer back to the older
old one.
ones.
So there was a possibility of that happening, although the new one was there.
But where they missed out on some provisions,
yes, people refer back to the old one. So that's the bill to delete the reference to the provisions of the Criminal Code, Penal Code, Criminal Procedure Act, Criminal Procedure Code, or Evidence Act. All right, there's also the bill to exclude the period of intervening events in the computation of time for determining pre-election petitions, election petitions, and appeals. All right, let's move on. How about the bill to provide the post-call qualification of the Secretary of the National Judicial Council?
Yes, the post-call qualification, that's being a lawyer, it is important there's further education, further training, and even a lawyer being a senior advocate. So this is an amendment to further up the bar for the qualification of whoever is going to be the secretary.
So what would you say necessitated this type of bill?
I'm sure it came from the mindset that to make sure that whoever is the secretary is more qualified for that particular position, you get what I mean.
Okay. All right, let's take a quick break. If you're just tuning in, this is Citizen FM 93.7. You're listening to Midday with MENA, and we're reviewing the recently assented bills by President Muhammadu Buhari. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life. 93.7 Citizen FM.
Let's talk about it on our favorite radio station.
We're more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Citizen FM Abuja. Now we be the voice of the people. The nation of our dreams. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build the nation of our dreams. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Yeah. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Yeah. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Citizen FM.
The issues, everybody respected that because it was coming from the president.
Purely behind it, the way the people took the battle in their hands.
Some civil servant retired without a roof over his head.
The cause.
If we cannot trust you, then you cannot take the ticket of this country.
Who cannot be divorced from those who cause a crime. Honestly, the passion.
You must have national spread. So where is it?
Why are you so concerned about that? He said money was.
I never.
No.
The platform is always the same.
Insight on Citizen FM 93.7.
The source is constant.
My name is Lawrence Umoite.
There is always an opportunity.
Tomorrow, Insight returns with another interesting.
Insight with Lawrence Umoite on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. Be part of the experience.
The nation of our dream. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build the nation of our dream. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Yeah. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Shake it. Citizen FM, Citizen FM.
Investigations, special reports, analysis, and breaking news. Premium Times, a leading multimedia news platform, brings to you every minute stories that helps you make informed decisions and hold public officials, individuals, and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport, and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss out.
Hi, my name is Rita Ezenwa Okoro, the founder and lead visionary of Street Project Foundation. Join the Street Project Foundation ambassadors Fridays, 8:30 a.m. on Citizen FM 93.7. We will be addressing key social issues such as xenophobia, police brutality, religious intolerance, youth profiling, insecurity, and other social issues in our radio drama series titled Omo, This is Real Life. Remember, Fridays, 8:30 a.m. on Citizen FM 93.7.
Abuja. Wake up. Reach out. Speak up. Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this is your station. Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM.
Abuja, and welcome to Midday with MENA. Thanks for staying with us. All right, so we're just doing a review of the newly assented bills that President Muhammadu Buhari recently signed into law. We're taking a look at them, what they mean for us as Nigerians, and how we can leverage them to make our nation a better place for everybody. We've also seen and, learned how bills are passed, the processes in which they are passed through, and some issues with some of the acts in the constitution as well, because there are some old ones, there are also new ones, and there was a bill that we just saw that was recently signed in, the bill to delete the reference to the provisions of the criminal code, penal code. And when I asked my lawyer about it, Joseph Okolo, who is here to give us his expert opinion on these bills, he said there is a newer act for this, and the old one needs to go so that it doesn't clash with the new one. So these are some of the issues that that we are addressing here today. We're also looking at the bill to exclude the period of intervening effects in the computation of time for determining pre-election petitions, election petitions, and appeals.
Yeah.
So what does this mean in essence, please?
Yeah, you see.
And we're in election season. We're still in election season.
Yes. And you see, the legal process sometimes, when there are times to do stuff like to make applications and to prepare your documents, and there are timelines.
Yes.
But now you see where these timelines can be vitiated because of some reason. Some people just come and say, yes, I'm out of time, but I'm applying out of that time because of this, because of that. So this bill is targeted at making those times very stringent and blocking all sort of application from delaying. If it's 30 days, it's 30 days. If it's 24 days, it's 24 days. You can't come with any form of application to further delay the process, because most of these things are time bound, especially election matters. They are very urgent. They are very the oath of office must be taken by this date. So you can't be seen to come and delay the process. You get me? So they can't, because they can't move that date.
No.
They can't move that date. So it is very important. This particular bill is looking to block all the loopholes where people can come with applications and delay the process.
Nice. I think that's very good for us. So that bill, let me just remind us, the bill to exclude the period of intervening effect in the computation of time for determining pre-election petitions, election petitions, and appeals. Yes. All right, let's move on. This one is, I think we've already talked about what it means to remove something from the concurrent list to the exclusive list, or from the exclusive to the concurrent. I don't know how that works. But yes, this next one says the bill to delete the item prisons in the exclusive legislative list and redesignate it as correctional service in the concurrent legislative list. So it's like this bill is changing two things.
Yes.
So it's saying we shouldn't call the prisons anymore. We should call them correctional facilities.
Yes.
And is asking that it be moved from the exclusive legislative list and redesignated to the concurrent legislative lists.
Yes.
So you have to explain this to us.
Yes. This is just like in the penal code and the criminal code.
Yeah.
Defendants were called accused back in the day. They called them the accused. So the law was amended and changed to defendants, because we try to reduce the way in which these things are, the harshness in these terms. So that's why I'm sure that's the intention of the drafter and the applicant when they say you change the word from prison to correctional, so that the people there don't see themselves as being incarcerated and just locked up and thrown away. Let it look like we are reforming
lawyer, but wait. What is confusing me right now is that if you want to do this, shouldn't you be more concerned about what is going on inside within these facilities before you change what they're labeled as?
We'll start somewhere. Although
because I know in developed countries they do call them correctional facilities.
Yes. So we can start there.
Okay.
Maybe the idea, when we start the terminology, when we change the terminology, it can also change the mindset of the people that are there, and the people that are administrating, the jailers and the rest, and the prison warden, and you don't see them, you don't see the people you are handling as prisoners anymore. You are meant to be like, should I say, a psychiatrist. You are there to help that person. You are there to treat that person. That person is not well, so you are there to correct the person. You get me? So maybe if we start from the name, it can further go.
Cause a ripple effect.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
what does it mean that it has been redesignated from the exclusive legislative to the concurrent legislative?
Yes. The exclusive, as I said before, is matters handled by the federal government. Only exclusively to the federal government, and the concurrent is both the federal government and the state government. So this has given the state government the power to manage and run our correctional service system
in their states. Also, before it was a federal government.
It was solely the federal government, and of course, if we look at it, we are in the bid to restructure. We are trying to get true federalism and devolve power.
Yes.
You get me?
Yeah.
So now the state has the power to start a prison and run the prison on its own fund.
And legislate on their own.
And legislate, create laws regarding that as well. So I think it's a good step. It's a good step.
It
Now,
does sound like
now
a good
there will
step.
be more
Along
prisons.
with changing from prisons to correctional facilities.
Yes. So now the states can run it better because they are there.
Yeah.
It's their project.
Yeah.
It's their own. So the state can pay more attention to it. It's hard for the federal government to be running prisons in all the 36 states. How can they pay attention to that? But the state governor is there, and the prison is just within his vicinity, and he can visit it and see the welfare.
It even shares the burden.
It does, and this is the essence of restructuring.
Okay, this is actually great. We do have hope that, and we also know that the prisons are overcrowded.
They are. In fact, if a state is running the prisons, the correctional service system, the states can actually pay so much attention to the progress of their cases.
Yes.
Because one of the problem we have is that somebody is in prison for close to 10 years awaiting trial. He has not even been convicted yet, and he's spending 10 years in prison. He might even come out innocent. He might even be innocent, and he has spent 10 years already.
Okay, the thing is, a lot of people say this all the time, as gist, as hearsay and everything. As somebody that is experienced in the judicial system, I'm sure you've been to correctional facilities.
Yes.
I'm sure you've dealt with people, who have been in this sort of situations. Please, without mincing words, tell me why it's okay for a whole institution to know that these sort of things go on and things are not being done to curb it. Where is it coming from? What is this loophole that is beneficial to this institution that they let people wallow in these institutions? From what you've seen, please.
Yes. From what I have seen is basically interest. If you look at the people that are in this position, they don't have anybody. So you just see that their fate is left to civil societies, NGOs and all, or maybe lawyers that just want to do pro bono to increase their chances of becoming senior advocates or whatever status they are looking for. So it's only somebody with interest that will come and fight for them. And I tell you, I've had cases where I went to do pro bono for people, and it didn't take me up to a month to throw out the criminal charges against them because there was no evidence, there was nothing. They just arrested them, tried them, and threw them in prison. So nobody has been representing them. They've just been there. So it's just interest.
When people say that, Nigerians, we are our own problem.
We are.
We always look to our leaders, they are doing this, but we still elect ourselves in those positions. For the longest time, I thought the main drive for a lot of Nigerians is greed and is money. Do you understand? But we have now come to realize from what you said, some things are not even about money.
No.
People, their hearts are just not
there.
They
are not interested.
They are just not interested in helping their fellow human being Nigerian in the same place with them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Thank God that this bill has actually been passed.
Yes,
This bill
it will help.
Yes, the bill to delete the items present in the exclusive legislative list and redesignate it as correctional facilities in the concurrent legislative list. And this also means that state governments are now in charge of their own prisons and, can manage prisons in their states themselves. And it's no longer exclusively run by the federal government. All right, let's move on. bill to move the item railways from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list. I think this is similar to the prisons case, but I'll just let you give us some insights on it.
This is similar to the prisons case, and it's a very good one. As I always commend, I've always been commending such bills that are in national interest. The power being vested in the center has always been a problem to true federalism. It has always been a problem. You cannot put all the weight, even down to our little families. If the head of the house, he's the one that provides, he's the one that cleans, he's the one that dresses the bed, carries the children, he will be very overworked, and it won't even work. He will now be inefficient in what he does. So this is a bill to send down power to the state, and that is why it's not in the residual. It's in the concurrent, where the federal government can still put an eye on it. You get
beautiful.
So it's not that they are giving everything out and say go and do the way you want. No,
they are sharing.
You can do the running, you can do the day-to-day, you can be the manager of it, and me, I'll be like the director and check and why is this thing not working properly.
The real checks and balances.
This is where the real checks and balances come in. So now this means that state government can now invest in their own railway system. Imagine if Lagos State does this railway, it connects to Ekiti, Osun State connects to this state, and you just unconsciously you just see that there is a railway line that can go around the country.
Like it just came up as a result of everybody doing their own. You get me? Everybody just doing their own and lobbying the federal government.
You get me?
You know, maybe you're a governor. You would think, please, I have to be in the party with the president so that he will listen to me, so that he will put eye on my state, so that.
So it's commendable. It's a good one.
Commendable.
It's a very good one.
All right, let's move on. The bill to allow states to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity in areas covered by the national grid.
This is another very good one. Now, states are now allowed to generate, transmit, and distribute. This, although it was initially privatized.
Yes, that's when it NEPA turned out PHC and turned into AADC, EEDC.
So now the states and even when it was privatized, the federal government still had a very strong hold on generation. I think transmission. You get me? So now that the state government is involved, the state government can now even attract foreign investors to come and do business. So this will even help economically, because if there is steady lights, businesses can thrive.
We have a caller. Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost that caller right there. All right, guys, if you'd like to call in, make your contributions or ask questions, you can reach us on 0818 22 22 205. You can also reach us on 0818 22 22 206. And do you think as a result of this as well, they can also come up with new ways to generate power?
Yes.
That will be allowed as well.
Of course, we can't be. Even the federal government did not limit itself to just one.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, MENA.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Patrick.
Okay, Patrick, what would you like to tell us today?
Good morning.
While you were talking about the name prison change to correctional center,
yes,
you said something that caught my attention.
Yeah.
So that we allow the state governments to build more prisons. Is that the real purpose of changing the name? I think state governments should be more interested in preventing crimes and criminality. There are countries where some of their prisons are being shut down.
True.
So I think the state government should invest more in the people and create more opportunity for the youth. I think just tone down the crime level.
Crime rate,
not building prisons as if they are expecting more youth to go into criminality. I think that's not the way to go. And secondly, I've been hearing how they have been commending these bills that will empower them the state all over across the federation.
Yes.
One thing that equally caught my attention is that all these things will cost the state governors money, and we know how poor. Sorry, I'm not saying it to all of them. We know how poor some of these state governors are when it comes to generating revenue. So they don't know how to generate revenue. So, for instance, Benue State now wants to be in charge of his railway. And so far so good. We have seen that they cannot generate that fund to fund their project. So this is a clerical call to us, the government, that these bills that are supposed to help the state develop to the standard that we all want is for them all to look for ways to generate revenue so that these bills will productive and benefit the people. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Pato. Great to have you on the program as always. All right, guys, you can call, you can ask questions and make your contributions to the program. 0818 22 22 205. 0818 22 22 206. All right, let's move on. Okay, bill to allow states, to generate, distribute electricity and transmit electricity covered in areas covered by the national grid. We've done that as well, and that's a commendable bill. Yes. We got another call. Try to call us back. Sorry, we lost that call. All right, how about the bill to require the president and governors to submit their names of persons nominated as ministers or commissioners within 60 days of taking oath of office for confirmation by the Senate or State House of Assembly. Let's take this call first, then we get into that. Please turn down the volume on your radio set. Hello, good morning.
I have done so. Good morning.
All right, great. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Ekbedeme. I'm in Abuja.
Your name is what?
Ekbedeme.
Ekbedeme. Thank you for calling. Okay, thank you for calling. What's your contribution?
Yeah, I am particularly interested in the bill for states to generate power, to generate and distribute power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before now, that item was on the exclusive list, and only the federal government could legislate on that. But now states have been encouraged to generate and distribute. It therefore means we are having a restructuring in bits, and that's a wonderful development because. Right now, the federal government is shedding. They have to reduce a lot of the functions they do because the state will get involved, and that will better bring development. I am from Akwa Ibom State, and I know my state has had their Ibom power plant. The state has the capacity to generate, to distribute, and give light to the people of the state. I live in states, around that contiguous zone, but it's not been possible. But this bill is a welcome, now that it has become law, it is a welcome development. It will aid development. And by it, the citizens will be empowered. And I think Nigeria is developing. Because although we've been clamoring for restructuring, but on the other hand, it is coming by bit. Because that is a part of restructuring.
Yeah.
And so I really like it that it has happened that way.
Great. Thank you so much for calling and being a part of the program. All right, something that is very funny, people think that every day people want to come on air or come on the radio waves on TV and complain about the country. They actually think it's sweet. It's not. When we see things that work, we most definitely commend it. Yes. And when you see things that don't work, you can't even give a passive attitude towards it, because if you give a passive attitude towards it, where will the change come from?
Yes.
All right. I think we have two more to take a look at. The bill requiring the governors and presidents to nominate ministers and commissioners within 60 days. What's the upside of this? I did this last week with Barrister Juliet. My own opinion was that we saw this with one president actually, and now a law has been made around it. What is the essence?
You see, just like the one with the election, eliminating events to delay election process, just that is what this one is like. You cannot sit down on your duty, your duty as a leader, and waste time on it just because you are doing some political lobbying and trying to pay back in favors or get favors. This is a very good law in the sense that it boxes this process into a timeline and makes sure that it happens within that time. Whatever you want to do with it, do it within that 60 days.
And you would also push leaders to do their due diligence ahead of time.
It's not when after you've been elected, long after you've been elected, you will now start coming to start getting the names together. No, you do that very fast. I think even in Buhari's time, there was a time when he first came, so it took him a long time.
That's the reference I made. I said we've only seen this with, well, personally, I don't know if maybe state governors have been culprits of this, too, but I know we saw this with Buhari, and that's why I'm a bit hesitant and skeptical that we saw this with one person and now there's a law.
Other people have been
have been
benefiting from that.
it as well. All right,
it's a good one.
Okay, I think the last one we're going to take a look at is the bill to require the government to direct its policy towards ensuring the right of food and food security in Nigeria. What's the essence of that?
Okay, although this is a law in paper.
Okay.
But no, I don't think there's any government that will want to do policies that will not go with this. But we have a problem on ground already. Like for farmers now, we have security issues. We have the conflict between herders and farmers. Those are the issues that should be treated instead of making a law that cannot be followed. So even if policies are made, because policies are always made to ensure food security and to ensure the production of food products, but the problem now is there is an underlying problem that has to be solved before you now come and even make a law.
Put this on paper.
You get me? But it's also a good one. It's not a bad one. It's a law that mandates the government of the day to make sure that every decision they make is channeled towards encouraging farmers and food processing and all that. So I think it's a good one, but there's a bigger problem on ground. There's a bigger problem because farmers now don't have security. Farmers now, they farm and cows come and eat their farm. Cows, herders carry their cows around and people steal their cows. So we have to find a way to solve that first. And the idea of ranching is presently the best idea
What's
on
up
ground.
with that? There was a bill submitted for that, wasn't there?
Yes,
what happened?
But it wasn't assented to. I don't think it even got majority
to state
of the
houses.
House.
Yes,
I
didn't see it at all. It's not part of the 35 that came back because 44 went to state houses, 35 came back, and the president only assented on about 19. I was going to cover reasons as to why that happens, but after something has rigorously gone round, the state houses, the House of Reps, the National Assembly as well, and then you come back and with what expert opinion do you decide to pick some and leave some? I think we'll do that another day. Will you be up for it?
Of course.
All right, great. It was lovely to have you on the program today. A very big shout out to my listeners and my callers. You guys made me proud today. Abby, my phone line was working and I was paying attention actually to the phone lines today because I knew a lot of you would be very interested in this. All right, and that's a wrap today. Catch me again here tomorrow, 11 a.m. till 12 noon. Do have a lovely, lovely day. The news at noon comes up next.